Well, hey everybody, again, welcome to our latest installment of Tuesday Talk with Dee and E. I'm Ennis Fan, and you are?
I'm Dee Carter.
As always, we're here. Super excited about our series we do every Tuesday.
Be still.
Did I kick the camera?
Yes, be still.
Okay, my bad. All right, we're super excited about what we do every week, and more importantly, the reviews and the response we've gotten from you guys, the questions you've had. I mean, you've made us even think. So we know there's a lot of work to do in this area, and we know that there's a lot of information that people don't get. So we are going to talk about something that we learned at a workshop last week that we really hadn't thought about, but it was just like right in our face. You hadn't thought about it. Just tell the truth and shame the devil. You hadn't thought about it.
Okay, let's tell the people what it is.
All right, well, I'm going to let you tell them what it is. That y'all need to do if you got children that's at least 18.
Well, I mean, children, just people in general. And so, with the difference between the power of attorney, next of kin, living will, like all of those things make a big difference. And so, if you don't have a power of attorney, living will, medical director, you know, if something were to happen to you, let's just say you in a long-term relationship, y'all been together 5-10 years, and everybody know y'all to be husband and wife, okay? But one
Even
of
though
y'all,
they not.
yeah, but one of y'all end up in the hospital, the next of kin is going to be that parent or that child, you know, depending on what the circumstance is. And so out of all this love y'all been having for each other, it don't count when it comes to the medical industry. They need something that is in writing. And so the power of attorney and living will is something that doesn't cost much. We do have a program for you to do that, but we'll talk about that another time. And what's more?
Here's the bottom line. Here's my takeaway from this workshop I was at. If you have a child that when they turn 18, there are 3 things that you need to get on them: a will, a power of attorney, and a medical directive. And let me tell you why, specifically. When they turn 18, they are technically adults. They grown. But let's say they out here in the street, and you done send them off to school, so when they really in the street then, flashbacks. Anyway, you get a call in the middle of the night. Your 20-year-old been in an accident. Here you go with your house coat on, still running to the hospital, because that's your child, and you gonna see about him. Well, guess what? It might be your child, but you have no say in what happens to them medically, period, because they're an adult. And the only way you can make it, I'm the mama. Well, you might be, and you might can tell them that at the house, but it don't work at the hospital unless they are incapacitated and cannot make any decisions on their own. Then you can make the decisions, but only then after you've been granted that authority by the courts. Well, whatever they need medically while you waiting on a court to tell the hospital they can talk to you, they with the Lord. Total transparency, I didn't have all that on my kids either. My son was just by here, and I said, we're gonna handle this like today. So
absolutely.
If the second you got a child turns 18, you need a will on them, a power of attorney, because guess what? Let's say that you got a kid that's 23, 24, they not married, and they got a little car payment, a motorcycle payment like my son got. Somebody got to be able, you pushing on me.
I sit back, you
Somebody got to be able to go to the bank, make those car payments, make those motorcycle payments. If they're in the hospital, somebody got to be able to make decisions as to what's going on with them. You need a medical directive as to what to do in the case of emergency. It should have been a no-brainer, D.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, 90% of people watching this got kids over 18, not married, no kids, just strutting around. If something happened, I'm the mama, I'm in charge. No, you're not.
And then just like you said, waiting for the courts to grant you the right to your child. That's foolish. You shouldn't have to wait for the courts to tell you what you can do if that child is in an accident. Or even furthermore, let's just say you see a car payment, motorcycle payment. What if you do have that overachieving child that already has a house by now? what's going to happen then? And so, and then sometimes the spouse can be, long gone, and that was who was supposed to be, and are locked up. Because that happens, and they're the ones that's the next of kin. You have to really think about all these scenarios where the people that you care about, the people that are in your life, that if something were to happen, because we know how sometimes mother-in-laws can be. I don't have that problem, but
I was like, where that's coming from?
Yeah, no, I don't. But I hear a lot about people saying, his mama or her mama think that she still got rights, and we married. Well, guess what? If something were to happen and y'all not really married, she does. And so you have to make sure that you're cleaning up situations like that too. And with the kids, I did speak with a couple of nurses last night, and they told me all the hassle that they go through with things like this, because people think that they have the power of attorney just because of who they are. No, it needs to be in the writing. And the nurses told me that they run into these problems, and it really does cause a whole lot of confusion and headache in the hospital because these things are not documented for them.
Bottom line, as Larry Griffin used to tell me years ago, it's impossible to know what you don't know. That's where we are. We never thought about when those children turn 18, they are officially an adult, and you need to get a will, power of attorney, and medical directive on them when they turn 18, because they still your child, and when something happens, you need to be able to strut up to that hospital and take control and not get run off because you have nothing in writing to act on behalf of that child. We got products to help that. We got wills, we got power of attorneys, we got medical directives, and they cheap. Yeah. I mean, don't even worry about the cost. The cost is insignificant. Yeah. So
less than a tank of gas for some cost.
$15 maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, so yeah. It's virtually nothing. Mm-hmm. It's worth it, folks. Call us, call me, call Dee, inbox us. If you got an 18-year-old, get your will, power of attorney, medical directive. Mm-hmm. And if you're old, you definitely need to have one. I know you're not strutting around without nothing.
We're not finna go there.
I'm not going there.
We're not finna go there. But they were, the nurse that I talked to were willing to possibly come on and explain that a little bit more for y'all.
So we're gonna start having guests.
Still, yeah, we might start having some guests for y'all. And so to get some of the stuff that just like this to better explain it, so that because they've been in that situation to where they see, oh well, you don't have a power of attorney, you don't have any rights, and the people big mad and cause confusion. Mad. Yeah, big mad, cause confusion in the hospital, and you just don't have the rights. So go ahead and call us so we can make sure that you have the rights to whatever happens to your family members, your spouses, things like that, so that it won't be a lot of confusion in the family or at the hospital. All right, so
this was good.
It was.
Enjoyed this installment of Tuesday Talk with Dee and E. And why are you laughing? Is that funny?
Go ahead.
Anyway, bye y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.